Hello, good afternoon. My name is Tapiwa Samanga. I'm the CEO of the Production Technologies Association of South Africa. We're an association of companies that are in the tool, die, mold, and special machining sector. Sometimes we add assembly systems. Usually the conversation is, what is tooling? To simplify, we usually say tooling is the way we make things, or we make things that make things. This is the second episode of a series that we are calling hashtag No Manufacturing Without Tooling, and we're having conversations with some of our graduates that we have passed through our training centers. We've got 4 training facilities across the country. So I'm here with Cynthia Ndlovu from our last cohort that graduated out of the center. Her story is fascinating. That's why we've brought her here. This girl from Bushbuck Ridge. I think the only time we heard about Bushbuck Ridge when there was a political association called Bushbuck Ridge Residents Association that got a few candidates, that got a few MPs into parliament. I don't know if they know that there is somebody from Bushbuck Ridge who actually trained to be a toolmaker. So maybe talk to us, Cynthia. How did you end up here in Ford making, what is it, Chinamahanga? Chipanza Mananga, making Ford Rangers, a girl from Bushbuck Ridge. You should have been picking baobab fruits, not making Ford Rangers. Tell us your story. How did you end up here?
So in 2018, someone told me that there's applications for this tool making thing. And then I applied, and then luckily I was shortlisted, and then that's when I started with my journey. But then before that, I was working as a bartender at
Bartender,
yes,
like selling alcohol.
yes.
Sometimes when we tell people that we got people who were packing groceries and checkers and made them rocket scientists, they think we're lying. So there you are. You were a bartender.
Yes, I was a bartender. It was just after my father passed away, and then I stopped going to school. I was at a college, and then I stopped going to school, and then I found a job, and then I started bartending. So throughout the bartending, I started with my apprentice, and then I did both. On weekends, I was at
Weekends you were
yeah, I was mixing,
doing mixology with
yes,
okay.
and then during the week I was studying, and then I did that for the past 5 years. I stopped working at Times Square as a bartender in 2022 when I got the opportunity to go to Ford Motor Company
Okay.
as a student. The first time I went there as a student. So and then I had to leave that bartending job because that side I had to do shifts. And
You were
yeah,
doing shifts at Ford.
yes. So now I was not going to be able to balance.
All right.
So that's when and then in 2024, that's when I trade tested. And then I waited for a while. And then luckily I got shortlisted. I applied and then I got shortlisted to get for a permanent job at Ford.
Okay, so you went to Ford whilst you were a student. You finished with us.
Yes.
Then you left Ford,
Yes.
did the trade test,
Yes.
and then you went back to Ford.
Yes. I went back as a permanent tool and die artisan specialist.
Tool and die artisan specialist. That's what we are doing at Ford now.
Yes, that's my job title.
Describe your day. Describe your day. And what happens at Ford? I mean, what is being made at Ford? And what, because we see a Ford Ranger driving out. When you stand by the roadside and see a Ford Ranger drive out, what contribution would you have put in that? What can you say? I did that. Of course, you don't shout it, but you'll be saying, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this on a Ford Ranger.
Okay. So at Ford, we're building the Ranger and the Amarok, obviously.
The Ranger and the
yeah,
Amarok.
and then now they've introduced the hybrid.
Okay.
So
Oh, you are now doing a hybrid.
yes,
Oh, okay. A hybrid back.
yes, for
Great.
Ford.
Okay.
So my day goes in as okay. My duties as a tool and die, depending on my schedule of the week, I can do machining. I can do preventative maintenance, corrective maintenance. I do run the line production.
Okay.
So what we are building, I would say I'm sort of a raw material before the car is actually built, because we deal with skin panel where you see the roof, the bonnet, the tailgate, the front door, the rear doors, the body sides, everything. So I deal with that. If there's a problem, that's where we fix.
For the sake of your people in Bushbuck Ridge, what you are saying is auto grade sheet comes in and you transform that into the bonnet, the roof, the side, the doors of a Ford Ranger
Yes.
and an Amarok from a piece of plate.
Yes, from a sheet metal that is flat.
Sheet metal that is flat.
Yes.
Yeah. And you convert that into
The shape that we
the
want.
body of
Yes.
a Ford Ranger and an Amarok.
Yes.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Are we hearing that in Bushbuck Ridge?
Yes, that's what we do. So my job consists of a lot of things, and then it needs you to make decisions.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to always analyze, check, do everything right, decide on your own, because your managers and everyone, they are not always there. And then you have to work fast. You have to be fast, because time is money.
Okay.
I can say. So yeah, that's basically my job. How my day goes. Yeah.
Yeah. You did your basic education, primary and secondary school in Bushbuck Ridge. Did you ever imagine that you would be in this situation? I would probably want to imagine that there are very few Amaroks or Ford Rangers in Bushbuck Ridge anyway.
Okay. No, I never imagined that I'll be here. I'll be a toolmaker. I never imagined that I'll be in tooling actually. I actually thought maybe I'll be a. Okay, in my mind, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a. I was thinking of mechanical engineering at university, or my second option was industrial psychology.
Okay.
That's what I thought I would do. But then things didn't go the way I wanted, and then I ended up in college. But then I think I like this stream better than what I initially chose, because this one is broad, it's interesting, I think I'm happy here.
No regrets
No regrets
at all, at
at
all.
all.
What would you say to a young girl, and I'm going to use Bushbuck Ridge just as a symbol of, let's say, a rural town. What would you say to a young girl in Barberton, in Komati-Port, in Bad Plus, in Dia, in Bethlehem, in Clarence, about the opportunities that exist in the manufacturing sector in South Africa, and whether they can do it, or it's something that is a preserve, if at all, of maybe those that are in town. How would you motivate them to pick career choices, which are challenging? It's not easy to be a toolmaker.
Yeah, that's true. So I think if I were to advise someone, or if I were to say something to anyone in the rural areas, I would say, if you don't understand something, I think now we have the internet. You should just Google, check, ask questions. I think our teachers might know a bit about, if even if they don't get to say they don't know tool making as a whole or manufacturing. If if you start by going on that mechanical stream, I think that's where you can get here. I think that's where you can find yourself in this automotive, in this manufacturing stuff. But I think they should just, because now we have TikToks, we have a lot of, we have Facebook. So instead of just scrolling around there, just watching
Watching
reels,
Amapiano.
yes, if you feel like now you need to do career choices and anything, just start by googling any subject or any stream. Like you can say mechanical, and then it's gonna bring out a lot of things, and just check each one of them, and then maybe you'll find yourself in this trade.
So let's say coming up from Bushbuck Ridge, right? That's where you grew up. You come to Gauteng. There's the double challenge of coming to the city,
Yes.
and then there's the challenge of a very demanding career path. There is the challenge of resources. Say your father passed away, which means resources were
Limited.
right, and maybe the stipends that we were getting does not really go around. What helped you carry through? Because I mean, this is not an easy course. I mean, what helped you carry through the 4 years? And then there was also COVID in between.
Yes. If I were to say, when I started this program, I realized that my resilience is the strongest. You know, if you start something and then I told myself I'm never gonna give up. I don't want to start something and stop it halfway. So once I started, I was like, I'm not gonna give up either way. And my mom, the people around me were there for me. They would just encourage me to just not give up at all. And then I had hope. I had hope that I think this is the right thing this is right for me. This is one thing that I want to do, that I'm sure of, and I can do it.
I remember when Ford came and we had to sit down with the staff here and Boyd Melo, and we were selecting because they asked us for 4, and we gave them the 4 that we thought were suited, and you made that list of 4 to go to Ford, but it could have been anywhere. I always say we want to inspire kids in South Africa, not only to drive a Ford Ranger, but also to actually know how to make it. And you have been privileged to be in that space. Others just look at it and they have no idea what it is. From an opportunity point of view, because we have to create opportunities for everyone around South Africa. How was it possible for you to, sitting in Bushbuck Ridge, to get an apprenticeship opportunity, let's say, at another company, and then maybe go through the career path that you have now? How possible would that have been possible sitting in Bushbuck Ridge? Because I'm still fascinated by Bushbuck Ridge making a Ford Ranger.
Okay, I think I can only say it was by the grace of God and faith, because you are always at the right place at the right time. I think because how many? I think we were 30 students here, and then I was
18.
yes,
Yeah.
and I was lucky to be shortlisted to be part of the Ford 4. So I can't say, oh, it was because, yes, hard work. I can point it out, yes, I worked hard. But there were other students that I think were better than me. But then I just got lucky. It was fate. If you had.
All right. Now we are in Ford. This is an international company. And the Ford Silverton plant will probably be the same as another Ford plant elsewhere around the world. What do you see for yourself? What do you see in front of you? What career opportunity? What has this opened for you?
I think it has opened many doors for me. Once you are at a big company that is international, then it opens a lot of doors for you because a lot of people can approach you in places like LinkedIn, ask questions, ask if you would like to. It's not really poaching, but they just ask you.
There are
Yes, yeah,
opportunities now.
yeah. They're just opportunities because they now can see you or you are recognizable because you are at a bigger company. And also within the company, there's more opportunities. You can
Within the
always,
company to grow within
yes,
the company.
you can always become a process coach, a team leader, a manager, as long as you study further. I believe we should not stop studying.
Okay.
Yes, we should not stop learning. We should continue studying. If you see something that you might like, managerial position, you do it. Continue with mechanical, continue studying towards it. Yeah.
The systems that you find in Ford, because Ford now was your first place. The training that you got in here in PTSA, how did that prepare you for the challenges at Ford or for the roles that you are now playing at Ford, even the environment itself? Would you say the training that we did was sufficient for that, for you getting into Ford and working at Ford, and ultimately getting? Because I think of the four, you're the one who got the permanent job.
Yes. I think I think the training was good. Actually, the best because we did almost. I would like to say everything that was required for this specific trade. So both the occupational English, the life skills, teaching us teamwork and everything, and working on different machines, doing different things, it helped keep me open-minded. And going to different companies also helped.
The
Yes,
OJT,
as the
the
OJTs.
workplace training.
Yes, as the OJTs, they also helped. So when I got to Ford, I realized it's not just something specific that you have to do. There's a lot of things happening around, so you don't do a specific thing. And I think the training here at PTSA is what helped me, and the resilience from PTSA is what helped me um, to be able to maybe get picked at
Okay.
Ford because you have to be strong and you have to understand what's happening. You have to
Think fast.
Yeah, think fast. You have to make decisions on your own. So if you don't, they at PTSA they allowed us to work on the machines alone. Mostly, yes, they supervised us when we were
At the beginning.
at the beginning, but going forward, we had to do everything by ourselves because we knew we learned. So going to Ford was like, okay, I'm on my own. I know this, and then you just tell yourself, I've got this. Do it. If you don't understand, you ask questions. Otherwise, yeah.
You go into Ford in a career that is male dominated. And I don't even know on the section where you work if there are other ladies there. So here you are coming from Bushbuckridge. Of course, we teach you a bit of business English so you can possibly communicate in English. But how was that? How was that a challenge as a young girl and also probably as a young black girl? How was that environment? Intimidating? Did you think they could trust you? They were open to you, or they were just saw you as one of the B additions to the company?
Okay. When I first went on the first year as a student, there was only one lady in the tool room. And then we were two students, two ladies. So we were three. And then I was fascinated because now we are from OJTs where there's smaller tools. And then the tooling there is
The
huge,
tooling
is
is
big. And
massive.
then
Yeah,
I asked myself, am I going to be able to do this? Though?
yeah.
What's gonna happen if I need lifting and
Yeah.
but then I realized that, oh, okay, they provide training for the overhead cranes. There's people, obviously, you don't work alone.
Yeah.
There's people who help you. Yes, it's a male-dominated industry. Some of the things I will probably need help doing, but
Yes.
there's always a way. If ever there's no one to help you, there's always a way. There's an overhead crane for you to pick up something. There's always a way. And then it is a male dominated, but the people there were accommodating.
Accommodating.
They were nice. They were open to teaching. They were also fascinated by us coming from PTSA. Um, for them with the NQF level 5, it's a bit different. Our trades are a bit different. They didn't do what we did, and then we learned from them as much as they were learning from us,
From you guys.
which was nice.
You went into Ford when there were some changes, the new investment that was coming in, the stamping line, where some things that used to be done outside component manufacture was actually now happening in Ford, which means where you are working there was a lot of focus. People were looking at you guys. Things had to be done right. How much was that in terms of pressure on you and probably your team?
Okay.
Maybe ordinarily somebody would have run away or hid in a corner.
Okay. There's a lot of investors and there's people walking around. They do a lot of bus tours where people come in to view the plant, to check what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure because you have to do things right. And the people who are working there, who are coming to the plant to view the investors, they must be able to understand what's going on. So if one of the investors asks you a question, you must be ready and able to answer. And you don't it's unexpected because anyone can decide to ask you a question. So, but you do everything right. They stop. They watch you do something. I don't know, anything that you might be busy with. It's fascinating to see women in the tool room because it's too male dominated than we would say electrical.
Yeah.
So, and then they ask questions. Oh, okay, is she able to do that? And then the managers will say yes. Which is
So how many people are now in the tour? Because Charmaine went to Italy. It's now you. The other lady is still there.
yes. We have Pumla and Nandile. They are both from Eastern Cape, I think.
Okay.
Yes, they were working at MA
Or
previously.
am I in the SNK?
Yes,
Okay.
they
So
trained that
they are
side.
now, you have now colleagues within the tour room.
Yes, but since we have shifts, it's
Oh,
each
yeah.
lady for one shift.
For their shifts.
Yeah.
So on your shift, you are alone.
Yes, on my shift I'm alone. I work with the other guys.
All right.
But there's no pressure. The
There's
people
no
are
pressure.
accommodating. We work well together.
Great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Great. Coming back to the people around you, your mom, people within your community, because part of what we want to do with this series is to reach out to, if I can call it your constituents, people within your influence, so that they can actually see what you've been able to do and the sort of doors that toolmaking has opened. Are they now able to understand what you do? Let's start with mom, your siblings. Do they understand what you do? And are we expecting a flood of people from Bushbuck Ridge, your former school, saying we are signing up, we are applying? Is there an understanding? Because part of our challenge now is we still have a lot of people that come in, they've never heard of tooling. Of course, we use our systems to check if they can thrive as toolmakers, but a lot don't still have never heard of what tooling is.
Okay, with my mom, I try as much as possible to explain. I look for videos online to show her what's happening. I think she might have an idea because I live with my younger sister. My younger sister understands what I do
What you do
because
now?
I always try to show her.
Okay.
I always try to show. I also show her videos. So with the people at home, I think now that when I explain, I say, oh, I make the Ford Ranger, and then I explain, oh, I did that bonnet, oh, I did that, I made that door, and then they get fascinated,
Okay.
obviously, and then
Maybe
they
they
are,
think you're lying.
no, they wouldn't think like
They
that,
wouldn't think like
but yes, but they get fascinated. And
Uh-huh.
then when you show them videos, you show them what you do, and you say, oh, this is part of the things that I do. And there are people who are interested, like my cousins, they do like this stream, but in terms of the apprenticeships, one of them didn't make the cut, but then
they try
yes,
to apply.
yes, they were trying to apply. And I don't know, maybe I should try and go to the high schools around, or my former high school.
Yes, we want you
To
to go back to your former high school.
Yeah,
Hopefully, Ford will give you a raptor to take with you.
yeah, to just explain that okay, now I took this career path, and then it's nice. If they want it, they can also follow it if they like it. Maybe they would understand it better coming from someone who is a toolmaker, who is a tool and die, rather than sometimes seeing these things on the internet and just seeing a big tool or seeing these big machines running without
And
them
then
understanding
understanding
that it's possible, and
how
then
it
there's
works.
someone doing it. Yeah, maybe I should do that.
So,
Yes.
well, I'm ordering you to do that. Otherwise, I will send you a bill. Your situation was probably unique in a sense. Dad passes away. You stop what you were doing in town.
Yeah, in college.
You become a barmaid, and then you come here. But now, looking back at what you are doing now, and where you are and what the future looks like, if you were a parent, would you have paid for this training? Because I mean, we gave you a full bursary. There will, it will not always be bursary. At some point, people might need to start paying. Would you have paid for this?
Okay, with the knowledge
Yeah,
that I
with where
have,
you are now, looking back.
yes, with the knowledge that I have, I would definitely pay. I would definitely pay for my child, or
Okay.
yes, I would
Or if
definitely
your
pay.
child wants to be a toolmaker
Yes, I would support
and
them.
say, yeah,
Yes,
pay
because
fees.
I just feel like in this industry, tool making is huge. It's broad.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening. There's design. You will definitely find something that you like. You will definitely want to settle somewhere. With me, okay, I don't know why, but I like to settle in the tool room, work
In
with
the
my
tool
hands.
room.
I enjoy that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe in the coming years, I will want to do the design part.
Design part.
Yes,
But
but
for
for
now,
now,
the
I
tool room
still
is where you
yes,
want to be.
yes, I still enjoy seeing dismantling a die, and then seeing all those parts and then assembling it back, and then seeing the work that I did outside when the car is moving in the plant. I'm like, oh, it's one of those doors that I made.
So as we are
One of the
fascinated
things.
by cars, for you, it's like, it's one of the things that I make.
Yeah, and then I would be like, oh, maybe that door had a bear or a split, and I'm like, oh, I fixed that. It gives you a good feeling. Even the next morning when you wake up, you just want to go to work because you saw your work outside. It's nice. It's a nice feeling.
When we look at the skills space in South Africa, people make decisions, let's say around grade 9, say I'm going to drop maths. And then they get to grade 12, and they've almost like closed the door to something like this. What happened in your case? Why did you continue doing maths and science? And remember, we're talking about Bushbuck Ridge, maybe where there's no maths teacher. Excuse me, sir, from Bushbuck Ridge. I'm just assuming here. Because you couldn't do this if you had not kept your maths and science.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to a public school, but
Government school.
yes,
Yeah.
but I think it was one of the best because they pushed us and then they sort of made maths and science like a priority.
Okay.
So we had like
At that particular school.
yes, we had like
Okay, make your school shine. What's the name of the school?
it was Orovilane High School.
Orovelane High School.
Yes, in
Okay.
Tulamahash.
Tulamahash.
Yes, so
Okay.
we had like 4 different teachers for each subject for life science, maths,
Okay.
or physical science. So we would do the syllabus and finish, and then they would rotate just in case you don't understand this teacher, and then the next teacher can explain it better.
Okay.
So maybe with my dad and my mom, they encouraged me to, and also my uncle who did electrical, they encouraged me to keep the maths because I wanted this mechanical or I wanted this industrial psychology. They said if you want to go to university, then you have to have this.
Your maths and science.
Yes. So I kept those subjects and then I realized, okay, this is what I need. And I think with our education system, I think they should maybe allow kids to have all the subjects so that when you get to grade 12 or after grade 12, you can...
You're not restricted.
Yes, you're not restricted because if you are in grade 9 and then you just decide to drop maths, I don't know. My decision making is not that good at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to when I get to grade 12 and then now I have regrets because I wanted this, I can't do this. So we should, I don't know, go back to check our education system.
And probably put more encouragement that people should not drop maths.
Yes.
Right. One of the things that we do at PTSA in our training facilities is that we've got social workers. You were here, we even have 2. And I'm thinking about your specific situation that Dad passes away in April. In July, you come on board. What do you think, or how do you think the social support that we provided actually helped you come through during the course? Were there times where you thought maybe I should just go back and be a barmaid for life and live this?
Yeah, there were actually times that I thought of that, but okay, our student license, our social workers, they were the best. I think they are the best. They listened.
Okay.
And they understood each student for who they are. They understood each situation for what's happening. As long as we were open to explain and say, oh, I have this problem. And then they would encourage you, okay, I think you should do this. There was Miss Maralis, who stays somewhere in mainland. So on Fridays when we knock off early, sometimes I'd go to work. She would give me a lift, drop me off closer to work, which was nice. It's part of the support that we needed.
That you were getting.
Yes, and she would have always, the doors are always open, a listening ear. If you are down today, you are not feeling good, you have problems, you just go in the offices. Even if you don't want to talk, you can just sit there, which was good. So I am forever grateful for all my spokes, even Mem Christie. And I think we also had Mem Lerato at one point as our spokes, because they were always changing. Yeah. So I will forever be grateful for them because they listened. Even when there was a time when I had lots of family problems regarding my dad's stuff, they were there and they were listening. I would just complain or I would need to leave school because I needed to do this or that. They would encourage, oh, but then you don't have to worry about it. Everything turns out okay. And then eventually everything turned out good. And it was through their support, through them being there, because my mom is at home. I don't have a parent figure
Support.
this side. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Mom is still in Bushbuck.
Yes, she's there.
And what support network did you have besides, let's say, support network outside, but also the learning environment that we provide? Because this is something that I'm always keen on. The learning environment that we provide with your other students, who are now your peers, was there an environment where which supported each student, where you are pushing each other, encouraging each other to stay on? What's that there?
Yes. Obviously, when you get to a place, you want to make friends. So,
Yeah.
yes, I did have friends. Um, there was one specific friend, Busi, that we. Okay, I stay in Arcadia. She stays in Mamelodi. So when we get to town with the bus, we walk together halfway, and then she catches a taxi there. So we would encourage each other every day. We would encourage each other. One day she doesn't feel like doing this anymore, and we say, "Oh," and then what are you gonna sit and do at home? And then she thinks about it. Maybe after staying home for a day, and then
She
she
comes
would
back.
miss me, and then she'd say, "I came back because of you." But you, you know, I would also do that, and then the next day I come back. "Ah, I came back because I missed you, my friend." And
Where is she now?
then she's working at Benoni. There's a company. It's one of our OJT companies.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's in there. The OJT companies, one of the things that we try to do for OJT is to make sure that we don't send you to the same company twice during your 4 years.
Yes.
How valuable was that time for workplace-based training during the OJT? And how did that prepare you for the real world of work?
All the OJT companies are different. And
Which ones did you go to?
I went to gem manufacturing. I went to Madasan.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went to the one in Tembisa. There's one in Tembisa that I went to. They do sand casting also there.
Okay.
Yes. When you get to a company first day or first time, obviously when you get there, they don't trust you.
Yeah.
They don't trust you with anything. So you get there, you want to touch this because you know this, but they're like, no.
They don't want you to touch your
They
CNC
don't want,
machine.
yes, they don't want to touch the CNC machine. Until one day, maybe they need help or someone didn't come to work. That was one thing that happened to me. And then someone said, "Oh, but you can use that student." And then that was one opportunity for me to prove myself. Obviously, I grabbed it with both hands, and then I worked with the boss the whole day. And then the next day was he was like, "Oh, I actually thought you couldn't do this," and I was like, "I can do it." And then we worked together for a while until I left. And then with Madasan, it was also nice. When I got to Madasan, they were actually doing modification for the griller, for the Ford griller. Before I went to Ford.
Before you went to Ford.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a big tool also. And it was interesting because it's mold, it's plastic. And then we modify, I found them halfway. So we were actually modifying with the spark eroder. And then I modified. And sometimes you don't know what's happening. You just get, they give you a drawing and they tell you, okay, you should set up and do this and this. They were, okay, there was a previous student from PTSA so he knew that we are capable, so he would allow me to use the machine however I wanted. So he would give a drawing and then you work, and then if you're done, he gives you the next job, which was nice because there I worked independently.
Or in Motherson, you're doing a
Yes.
machine to work independently.
Yes, I was working alone. I would go to the designer and ask, okay, I'm done with this job. What can I do next? It was nice. I felt like, okay, now I'm at the stage where, for me, when I look back, I can see that it was preparing me for the real world where you work alone.
Now you are
Yes.
in for doing this. I mean, from the conversation, it looks like, I mean, somebody would not, unless you tell them, they would probably not know that, okay, you came from Bushback Range, had that tragedy where dad passed away. They would expect somebody who does not have the sort of confidence that we have. Part of what we try to do in PDSA is actually to build the person. Not necessarily, yeah, the technical skills come with it, but we try to build the person such that when you go out there, you actually are prepared, confident, able to do things. Do you, if there is what key element in our training do you think really strengthened your backbone so that you can walk into these sort of challenging situations and be able to hold your own?
Okay. I think we did life skills throughout and occupational English throughout. So there were some activities where they ask you questions about yourself, and then we had this chart where you rate yourself. Um, what do you think of yourself as how strong are you on this point? How weak are you on this point with our spoke?
Yeah.
So when you are doing that, for me, I was self-reflecting. I was like, okay, I feel like I lack here. Let me go and improve. So I think with the training and with doing life skills throughout, at first, yeah, obviously, I thought, where am I doing life skills? This is an apprentice, it's for mechanical. Why? What's this got to do with everything? But I realized now that it was building me because it was making me.
Anyway, it was different from the life skills that you did in high school.
Yes, it
Right?
was very
Yeah,
different.
very different.
So it was making me aware of myself. You get to be aware of yourself. Like, oh, I like this. Okay, let me improve on that. I think that's one of the subjects that I liked. I like to do things.
It's funny how life skill is ridiculed in high school, but then when we use it here and teach something differently, it's actually one of the courses that become valuable and actually prepare you for work.
Yeah, that's
Finally,
true.
Cynthia, we want to use people like you, or we want you to go back to your communities, as we have said before, talk to people about what toolmaking is, how they can also actually follow it up choose it as a career path. I always used to say to you guys when we were training that we are using taxpayers' money to train you, and at some point I want my money back. Now I want my money back. What are you going to do for us to make sure that the message about toolmaking gets out there? Other potential students, especially young students, young black females from the environment that you came from, can actually get their eyes opened that there is this opportunity that they can actually follow, and such that in their lives they are probably not restricted to admiring men driving Ford Rangers, but they're actually making Ford Rangers, such that if some guy comes by and says, "Hey," and says, I make that. Come on, go." How do we make that? I mean, what can you do, like an ambassador going back not only to Bushback Ridge but to the communities around you, that this is something that is possible, and young ladies can actually be involved in the automotive sector as it is.
I think from now, what I will do is for the next intake that's gonna come, I will try by all means to just go home and introduce
This thing to them.
yeah, to them, and then help them apply. Even with the registration fee that is there, I think I might be able to pay for one or two.
One or two. Oh,
Yes.
that's good. That's beautiful.
Yes, I'll try by all means to
To
just
pay for
yes to
some of the
help,
registration fees. That's good.
and then also explain as much as possible and everything that I know to them so that they understand and they don't have doubts on, oh, do
Yeah.
I want this or not? Yes.
Great. That's fine. We should have an intake for Gauteng around March, April next year. We are already planning on that. On Monday, we should have an intake starting in Western Cape, in Cape Town, and also in KZN. But for Gauteng, in March, April, we should have an intake coming in. So I'll take you up. I'll take your number. Thank you, Cynthia, and I think it's good to see you. May the Rangers and the Amaroks continue coming in. And we also expect you really to be a good ambassador of what PTSA can do and what our graduates can do in what. We wish you the best.
Thank
Be
you,
blessed.
sir.
Thank you.